All right, back with a little bit more on the HSC exam revision. So, technologies in industrial and commercial settings. So use some of the advantages of these would probably be something that you would talk about. So, using professional production technologies is found in industry. You're going to have higher quality, higher standard, faster production, and reduced production costs. Probably per unit, it's going to cost you a lot to set it up, but per unit, your reduced production costs could have a big impact. Implications if they're used, obviously similar sorts of stuff, higher quality, production can be scaled up to produce a whole lot more and reduce costs. Some examples of industrial and commercial settings might be the use of big factories, robotic assembly, access to better equipment. Injection molding is a really good example. If we are going into industrial and commercial, lots and lots of products use injection molding. And sometimes that can't be replicated. So a good example of something that you can't do in a school workshop or in a home garage is, a plastic rubbish bin. You actually can't make it without a large injection molding machine. So it can't be replicated in a domestic setting. There's a good example for that. Environmental and social issues. I always think the easiest one is comparing the use of old growth rainforest timbers compared to sustainable farmed timbers. So some of the implications for using the rainforest, obviously deforestation, taking away animal habitats, carbon emissions, which aren't being recaptured by replanting the trees, and the opposite for sustainable timbers, it's renewable, provides jobs in farming, sort of continually sustainable job growth, sustainable jobs, and as the trees grow, they capture carbon. A good example, the company Australian Sustainable Timbers are certified native forest managers and the inaugural winners of the Responsible Forest Management Award. So if you were looking for a really good example, if that did come up, that would be a good company to have a bit of a look at and think about. Creative approaches to design, so things like cognitive organizers, so that could be mind maps, flowcharts, the De Bono thinking hats. We could list more, but you don't need to have 20 examples. So if you're familiar with these sorts of things, then that's great. Implications of using these in the design process. They can provide an explicit structure for thinking and working in a team situation, or when more than one person has to work together. You can get multiple perspectives, can be displayed and linked. In the example of a mind map, you're starting in the middle with your idea and you're branching off and you're coming up with all different things, and you're starting to put together a bit of a map, as the term is, to what you might need to do. It can change the complexity of a project. So you're kind of breaking down the complexity, and it's in a visual manner as well. So that can be a good part about it. Things like colourful templates can be memorable if you're sharing it with other people or just for yourself to trigger, this goes here, this goes there. And using visual medium can stimulate imagination and hold the attention of a group that you're working with, maybe if you're brainstorming or, if you're showing that to somebody. So cognitive organisers, that good chance that could come up in an exam. Just going to stop sharing and I'll make another one in a minute.